going on, guys? Sorry about the volume there. It's not plugged in. So just to kind of recap, we traded some top step accounts evaluations. I believe one of these accounts is past here. Balance is 53.52. I'm probably going to switch over. Yo, what's up, Steve? I'll probably switch over to an Apex evaluation. This morning, what I was mentioning before I realized that the mic was not working was it was a pretty good open. You know, a pretty good open for at least it's the setups that I'm looking at. So 20 SMAs and 30-minute opening range. You guys already know that. That's my jam. So basically just reading price action with supply and demand, and then from there kind of just going off of when those setups appear, right? So my whole style of trading is definitely a supply and demand style of trading, but it's also with setups that reoccur every single day, right? So every single day, you know, as long as I've been trading, you're on a 5-minute time frame, you're always getting price that goes over the 20 SMA, goes back below it. So I'm just looking for those little short-term change in trends to catch a little bit of a scalp. We obviously know that every day you're going to get a 30-minute candle, which is, for me, that's my opening range. Again, you can play a 5-minute opening range. You can play a 15-minute opening range. Some people play the hour opening range, which is the initial balance. You can even play a 1-minute opening range. I've settled just, you know, going back to how I trade stocks and options. I'm always looking at the top of the hour, so 10 a.m. New York time. I'm always looking to see if we confirm momentum on whatever we were doing in the first 30 minutes. So for me, it's a 30-minute opening range. So I'm bringing that same approach over to the futures side of things. But one thing that I was touching on is I started a new evaluation. Well, yesterday, let me go back. Let me kind of give you guys a little backstory. Oh, look at them. Look at this push. Look at this push down. Look at this push down. So on the 1-hour chart, we're breaking down. We've confirmed the previous hour lows. On the 1-hour chart, I don't have any support until 20,213. Okay, so we've got a little bit of space that we can potentially go, and then below 213, I'm looking at the next support being around 20,200. 20,200. So again, if you're short, congratulations. Keep continuing to hold short, trail your stop. If you're looking for a position here, I really wouldn't want to get too crazy, where in a sense where I'm going to, you know, look to start a short position here or look to start a long position here. I need to see a little bit more, right? I need to see a little bit more. Now, I got to lock this account up here on this top step. That's one thing. I got to switch over to that Apex eval. So let me do that in the meantime here. Let me do that in the meantime, and I'll kind of explain to you guys what I'm doing with this new Apex valuation. Before I get into how I'm going to trade this Apex evaluation, because currently right now, as it stands, I've got 6 PA accounts with Apex. Okay, so I've got 6 of them. I did have 7, lost one of them, unfortunately, last week when I took a payout on it in the first through the 5th payout window. Had a low balance on it, took a couple losing trades, and we lost it. So we're at 6 PA accounts. We're currently at 3 Top Step XFAs. I just passed one more. That's going to be 4, and I'm very, very close to passing the 5th. So my whole goal between now and the end of the year is realistically focus on my options trading. I took a very, very nice short today on the video. We were up like $725 on one single trade. Focus on my options trading. Continue to build and take consistent payouts with the prop firms and really start to expand, okay? And when I mean expand, that's going out and getting a lot more funded accounts. But I want to do it in a way where, you know, where it's obtainable, not just for myself, but for a lot of other people. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, especially with Apex. I can go out there with Apex right now. I can go buy, let's say 10 accounts, right? It's going to cost me, let's say $350. And I've got 2 ways to pass. I'll run max size and I'll look for 62 ticks, and hopefully I'm right. Either that account's going to pass or it's going to bust in one singular trade. Or I can go to 5-point take profits. I can go to 5 mini contracts, 5-point take profits, and kind of wheel and deal myself, right? Just wheel and deal myself, kind of taking scalps, the same setups that I'm going to take. Or I can take it in an even slower approach and trade it almost similar to how I would trade a funded account. That way I can start kind of linking them in with a couple of, again, you guys already know I don't like to copy trade. So I'm not saying I'm going to copy trade all 10 of them or all the accounts together, but maybe start copy trading 1, 2 accounts to one leader account, right? Not getting too crazy and just kind of trading those evaluations in the background the same way that I would trade my funded accounts. So with that being said, what we're going to do is probably that, right? I'll still take my stabs at the little gambles of trying to pass 1 or 2 trades or one day, but for the most part, we're really going to try to expand, and we're going to try to expand in a way that's obtainable, okay? So kind of getting into this new account that I started with Apex, and I'm going to pull it up right now. Let me just figure out how to get these screens. Again, guys, you gotta bear with me here. I'm not like a big streamer where I know how to move all my screens around to get it to where you guys can see it. Where is it? Nope, that's not it. Okay. There it is. So this is my screen. So while I get that Apex screen loaded up, let me let's talk about the price action right now. We're currently holding on to this linear regression on a 5-minute time frame. I've got supply sitting at around 260 and then 283. This definitely could be a bounce spot here. We're not really seeing a whole lot of follow through from the sellers. All we're realistically seeing from the sellers right now at this point, which I do like this buy position. I do like this buy position just for a little scalp. We're just kind of seeing quick sweeps from the sellers, but no like all right. We've done a lot of selling already, so maybe a little bit of a bounce reversal into lunch. This would be a perfect opportunity for that to happen. Again, does it happen? I don't know, but it's a perfect opportunity. Where the hell is? So I'm going to pull up the Apex and I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. Okay. Show you guys, or I'm going to explain to you guys what I'm going to do. Try to figure out why my volume's not playing through my desktop as well. Come on, check. It's Friday. It's Friday. Friday. Okay. So I started playing with something today. And I'll show you guys what I'm playing with. Which is going to take a long time, too. It's going to take a long time. This is going to be like a month, maybe, yeah, like a month-long test that I'm going to run here. Because if it works and everything kind of plays out to my back testing and plays out to, the data that I've been working on, we're going to run it at scale. So when we run it at scale, that's when we're going to really start to load up another 10 accounts to what I've got going on here. But I want to take things slow. That's the thing. I really want to focus on taking it slow, right? Like, already enough, I take it slow as it is. Because, again, I'm not one of these traders who's, desperately trying to get to 20 accounts. I don't want to have, 10 different prop firms, which I do believe in splitting your eggs into a bunch of baskets. But, I want to have Top Step. I want to have Apex, and I'm probably going to work in Take Profit Trader. But I want to spread out my risk a little bit, and I want to keep consistent payouts coming. Like you guys already know, like I don't copy trade. I don't go out there and, I'm not trying to get 20 payouts from all 20 accounts in the next 10 days. I just let the payouts come when they come. We're like, meaning I just hit the balances when I hit the balances, and then I request the withdrawals. I like that approach. I just want to do it at scale where I'm double the size on it. Oh, how the hell can I get this here? I think I got it here now. Whoops. So this eval, let's move this a little bit. This eval, I kind of fucked up this morning. If the 4-hour closes below the 20 SMA, it might go to the 20,000. The 4-hour hasn't closed below the 20 SMA in what? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible, but we got some levels before. I mean, lowest I would see us coming today would be like 150. But here's what I'm doing on this, and I'll share this with you guys. I told the guys in my Discord this morning, kind of explaining this. The thing is within my Discord, I'm gonna be showing like the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? With running a system like this, and the system that I'm gonna be running is gonna be this. I'm running like an 8.5, almost 9-point take profit, right? 35 ticks is what I'm gonna do. And I'm running a 70 tick stop loss. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm instead of, because I know how many points this runs, right? Like when I take a 20 SMA play, 5 points gets hit a lot, 10 points gets hit a lot, a little less obviously than the 5 points. 20 points is a little bit harder, but it's a bigger trade. So I'm going right in the middle, right? I'm kind of going right in the middle. I'm setting myself up with like an 8.5 point take profit, and I'm looking at like a 16, 17, 18 point stop loss, some shit like that. But I'm working it out in dollars, right? So it's just easier on my brain instead of having to always constantly add up the ticks and the points and all this other jazz, right? I know what the strategy gives me. I know what it gives me. So what I did is I started going back, right, manually. None of this automated crap where I'm trying to code something to backtest. I know people do that. I don't do that shit. You know what works for me on backtesting? Using my eyes and going back in the chart day by day, going through each and every single trade. The only thing is it takes a long time to do it. So I'm about 3 weeks back, right? I'm about 3 weeks back. And if you guys remember, last week was kind of a shitty week. So I'm including all of that in my backtesting. But anyways, the point that I'm making here is that I was noticing that a 10-point take profit was hitting. So if a 10-point take profit was hitting almost, again, not as much as a 5-point, but almost. Let me go somewhere in the middle. This is my thought process. Let me go somewhere in the middle. I'm going around 8 points, 8.5 points. And then I know how much I want to lose per trade. It's $350, right around that area, right? So $350. I'm going to be playing one mini contract. So one mini contract, and that's the risk settings that I'm going to run. I started to take some trades on this new account today. The numbers are going to be a little skewed because I fucked up and I got put into a trade when I didn't want to. It was a winning trade, but it's going to kind of screw the numbers up a little bit. But anyways, so what we're doing here is today's gross P&L 340. We're at 324.50 in the profit. Okay, we're hitting at 80% today. Now this is where this is what I want to really test is what's the winning rate? What's the win rate percentage after 100 trades? I'm not talking about 100 back tests. I'm not talking about 100. I'm talking about 100 real trades that it takes. Okay, 20 SMA plays and every day the 30-minute opening range if it confirms. 100 trades at these metrics. was profitable and I ran different potential outcomes. Again, because we never know if we're going to start off and we're going to go on a 2-trade losing streak or a 5-trade winning streak, right? The probabilities are always going to be different. That's the beauty of this business. You know, you can have 1-2 red days and then go on a string of 10 green days, right? So as long as I can kind of protect the risk enough to just let the numbers play out, then it doesn't matter, and there's no emotion going involved when you take a losing trade, because you know that when you get through another 10, 20, 30, 40 trades, you're going to be profitable. So that's why I was running all these variations on, you know, what is the potential outcome after 100 trades? What's the potential outcome? Can we do something where we can run it at scale? And what I mean by that is if we run this at scale, right, out of like, I generated different potential outcomes at around the 70% win rate. Now, again, the strategy's got to hit at 70%, but I already know, because I've been trading this way for years, I know that if you operate this, okay, right? Look at what I'm pointing at. If you operate this, okay, I'm going to take a second again. If you control this, right, and I make sure I'm in frame here, am I in frame? If you control what's inside here, by not going outside of your strategy, not increasing size, not holding losers when you don't need to hold losers. I like this bounce opportunity here, guys. But if you can control up here and keep those consistent profits going, then it's nothing more than merely letting the numbers play out. Okay, so I let these numbers play out. I use the example of a $50,000 account with a $350 risk, which is about 0.7. Okay, again, it's different because it's prop firm. It's not like we have 50,000 cash to play with. We only truly have the drawdown, which is 2,000 or $2,500 on a 50K. But let's just take it as, let's put ourselves in the shoes of the $50,000 is real cash, right? Every trade we're risking 0.7% on our entire account balance, and we're looking for 0.5 return. Okay, that's it. That's all we're looking to do. So in that particular scenario, it's breaking down. And that's why I say dollar amounts work better for me than, you know, having to break down the percentage. I'm risking, you know, 0.7, 0.5%. Like, you know, that all that shit confuses me. I'm not that fucking smart. So when I break down the actual numbers, that makes sense to me. If I risk around $350, $360 a trade on one mini contract, again, this is working off of one mini contract, and I'm looking for profits of at least around 175 bucks, right? Again, sometimes I might take myself out at 150 or $40 or $140 if I see it really stalling and I have to step in. And I'm going to try to limit, like if I really see a breakdown, maybe try to clip it a little early. But again, I want to let the numbers run again, because I don't want to manually intervene too much, right? Like, because sometimes, and I know this has happened to you guys, I really like this bounce here in lunch. I really like this bounce. Sometimes, let's say you got a $300 stop loss and you're down 220 and you manually exit it. Next thing you know, it only went down 250 and then went back in your favor. So because I've done the numbers enough, I've run the numbers enough that it's still going to hit at over 70%. Now, for me, you guys can see here, if I was to stop trading on the day, 5 total trades taken, again, it's only 4. One of them I fucked up. I had an order sitting there and I didn't mean to have it sitting there. It got filled. It kind of fucked up excuse the language. It kind of jacked up the trade count, but it was 4 trades. And I'll kind of explain, I don't know why this volume's up. But anyways, what I was looking at is, even if I was to stop today, we'd be profitable 324 bucks on this valuation, right? So again, before I keep rambling, guys, I really like this. If you use small size low of day as a stop around 25s, 202.25s, you might have an opportunity here. What are we trading? That's about 20 points risk or so. You might have an opportunity to get this to push into 70s. You might have an opportunity to get this to push into 70s. That's a 20-day moving average. That's our next resistance. Again, that's taking us back into the last lower high that we put in. Again, it's a trade idea. I'm just, it's a trade idea. So with that being said, when I ran the numbers, and I ran them with different variations on when my consecutive loss streaks are going to hit and when my win streaks are going to hit, like it's randomized because again, and I like that randomized feature where I can auto shuffle it, and I'll have to post again the website. I got it saved on the other computer that's downstairs when I was working on this, but I'll post it in my community tab because you can run numbers on your own strategy. Again, my strategy is going to hit if you operate it correctly and you stay right up here in the dome, right? You stay right in the head space and obey your rules and only look for setups that align with your strategy. My setup, it will hit because I have such a low take profit. I'm not really looking for big moves. I'm looking for 5 or 10 points. In this particular scenario, we're going to look for 8, but it's going to hit at a high win rate. Now, the only thing we need to really protect is we've got to protect the. Ooh, this is going to make a low day. I guess the long didn't look good. I guess the long again. That's why it's a trade idea. The long doesn't look good. All the levels that I have to the downside. Okay, this is what I have to the downside: 202.13 and 20,200. Those are the next two supports. Below that, it doesn't have anything until 150s. Okay, so if this doesn't hold and it puts in a new low, maybe those are the areas that we're going to. Again, it's lunchtime. Also in my rules, just kind of before I go on, I'm not taking any trades within the first 30 minutes of lunch. That is what it is. So even though I like the bounce there, if this was outside of lunch, I would have taken that bounce. But I don't take any setups. Again, you can do whatever you want. I don't take any setups the first 30 minutes of lunch. My trade window is from 9:30 in the morning to around 11:30 or noontime. That's it. But I don't take anything in the first 30 minutes that lunch starts. So when I ran those randomized numbers, because when I back tested personally, I was coming up with like a 75, 76, sometimes 78% win rate, right? For like a month's worth of trade setups, okay, if executed right. But again, we can't account for that to happen month after month, week after week, day after day, right? So I just went a little lower. I said, let's just run a 70% win rate. Okay, let's run a 70% win rate. And let's try to focus on that 70% win rate, taking the trade setups, making sure everything aligns. And running this type of risk management profile was netting anywhere between a 6 and 7, sometimes 8, but a 6 and 7% return, which is fantastic. That's what I want to see. And truthfully speaking, I would be very happy with something that could be automated and nice and slow at like even a 3%. And Trey McBride, guys, any of you guys play fantasy football? Trey McBride, tight end for Arizona's out. I got him on my team. Gosh darn it. That sucks. So, with that being said, if you really think about it, if you control what's going on in the headspace, okay, and you focus on your setups, and for me, I like things that are going to present themselves each and every single day. Okay, sometimes they present themselves a little bit more, sometimes they don't present themselves, and that's when you just kind of fall back. It's a form of price action mixed with some supply and demand. Very simple shit, guys. Very simple shit. We're not trying to overcomplicate things. Where traders tend to have the most trouble is when they overcomplicate things and they're rushing through the process. Like, let me ask you guys a question. How many times have you guys actually taken and traded the same strategy for 100 trades? Do you even know what your win rate is? Some people say, well, my strategy operates at, a 50% or 52%. How do you know that? How do you know that, right? How do you know that you're operating at a 57%? Have you taken enough trades? Again, you need to be taking a lot of trades. I'm talking hundreds of trades, right? Do you stick to the same thing? Because you know what happens? This is exactly what happens. A trader will win one trade, get happy about themselves. They'll lose the next trade, the next trade, the next trade. They go on a 3-trade consecutive loss, taking losses, and then they just they throw everything out the window and they start doing different stuff. But how do you know that your trade setup's not going to have a 2, 3, 4, 5 losing trade consecutive win streak before it goes on a string of 10 winners, before it goes on a string of 15 winners, before it goes on a string of 5 winners, 1 loss, 5 winners, 1 loss? You know, you don't know that, guys. Big breakdown here. Big breakdown. We're into that next support here at 20210, and then we've got 201.95. I got a little bit of support there, a little bit of demand there. So what I'd be looking at here is if this demand's not going to hold, again, if you're short, be a good spot to start locking in those gains. Again, you know, you do as you choose. I'm just kind of going over what exactly I'm looking at on my charts. I've got space down to 201.90s, 201.95, 201.97. If this holds, we could see an aggressive snapback, maybe 20, 30 points against us. So again, definite selling pressure is there since the open, right? Since the open, we had a little bit of a spike higher, and then it's just been essentially falling down. Realistically, that big level that we lost here, once we started to confirm 202.71, that was a pretty good indication that we were going to come down to the next demand zone, which is here. Now that next demand zone, I should probably show you guys. Let's show you guys what's going on here. 5 minutes. You see this demand zone that we're approaching? A little bit of a double bottom. So this is why I say I'd be very, very cautious of starting a short position down here. I know a lot of people are looking at the market right now and they're saying, wow, you know, maybe this is a great time. Maybe this is a great time to start shorting. You're actually shorting right into demand. Your short position based on an hourly chart was either through here or through here, right? Because if you follow any method of supply and demand, any type of method, you have to respect supply and demand, right? You have to respect it. So if the theory is stocks or indexes or whatever is going to trade from supply to supply and demand to demand, then wouldn't we want to short once we lose an area of demand into the next area of demand? So that's exactly where we're at, right? The next area of demand. But again, what do we got? Look at that bounce. You see that bounce? So you see how the last time it looked like we were going to bounce, we got that last quick washout, that last quick sweep into that last demand right there. And that last demand is an hourly linear regression. It's also a 100-day simple moving average and 100 EMA as well. So we got a lot of support stacked right there where we just bounced off of. Now again, if we do lose that, you could potentially be coming down to 20,197, 20,158, and then anything below that, 20,045. Those would be like the staircases, right? Those would be the staircases. But anyways, just kind of going back to what I'm testing is just running these risk settings and getting through 100 trades. That's it. You know, the net returns on them, it's not like, you know, returning 5%, 6%. That's really good money. And a lot of people, you know, well, I want to make $10,000 a month. Like, do you even have enough capital to return $10,000 a month? Or like, should you, because again, like when you get into like, you want to make 10, 20, 30% a month, I'm not saying that it can't happen. You can catch some really big trades. You can catch, you know, some big swings, but like, can it be duplicated, right? That's the whole thing. Like the way I've always been is I have to find something that's duplicatable on a month in and month out basis, because I can't rely on, is the market going to give me a big swing this month? You know, because what happens if it doesn't give me that next month? What happens if I can't catch that 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, 15-hour trade? Like, I need something that basically like 9 to 5, where you come in, you punch the clock, you do your work, and then you come back tomorrow. You punch the clock, you do your work, and every 2 weeks, what's guaranteed? A paycheck is guaranteed in your hands. So every month, what's guaranteed? A paycheck, right? I can't do this whole swinging for the fences type of stuff, type of trading, where I'm putting on max size and trying to swing for these home run trades. If you know, the win rate percentage is so low, you never know if you're going to hit it, right? You could be in drawdown for 3 or 4 weeks. And when you talk about trading for a living and stuff, you can't not have money coming in for 3, 4, 5 weeks just to potentially get one big trade. Right? Can't happen. So like I'm a slow and steady Eddie kind of guy. You know, I just like to keep things trickling in. But if it's run at scale, right? If you guys understand anything about scaling, if you run it at scale, then yeah, you can get to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month because you're running it at scale. You just need one system, one model to get you there, and then you scale up. So again, just to like kind of be very, very clear, running these risk settings and running different possible potential outcomes, if I just stick to my trade window that I back tested, that I trade anyways, sticking to this kind of risk to reward ratio, after 100 trades, it's generating anywhere between $2,600, $2,700 in profit, all the way up to close to $4,000, right? And what's going to be the change? What's going to be the change between taking $3,900 out of the market this month and $2,700 out of the market this month is the difference of when you're hitting those losses, right? Because again, if you can see here, if I'm looking for $175 profit, but I'm risking $360, if I hit 3 back-to-back losers, I'm going to be down over a little over $1,000. So, you know, that's going to be the difference between finishing with almost a $4,000 a month versus a $2,800 a month. Does that make sense? You know, does that make sense? But that's okay. Like, some months you'll hit 4,000, some months you'll hit 25, 2,800. That's fine. One account. Now let's scale that times 5. See what I'm talking about? 2, 25, 5, 75. You're talking about $10,000 a month on 5 accounts. Now, I kind of run this same kind of scenario, but I do a lot of individual account work and I do a lot of individual trading work. And my normal risk anyways on one mini is anywhere between $300 and $400. And my normal take profit is about $100 to $150. So I'm right there anyways. So that's how I'm saying, I already kind of know that this system works, but I've never really tracked the data. Like, I've tracked it for, I think the last time I tracked it was like just manually taking trades, and sometimes I would take some bounces here, some rejections. And the last time I got up to like 62 trades, tracked, and that netted one payout with Apex, and then it got all the way to threshold again. And then we lost the account after the second payout because I got foolish. I took like five minis and I got smoked. But again, like I said, you got to manage what's going on up here. But again, I don't look for a really long longevity on my funded accounts anyways. But if a system like this is going to work at scale and it's going to work at a 70% hit rate, hey, then it would behoove me to keep these accounts rolling 5, 6 months at a time. Makes sense. Versus right now, I with Apex especially, because of the trailing drawdown and because I always take out max. So I get to the $2,600 to $3,000 and I'll take out 2,000. I'm running a tight drawdown, right? So I don't really have any drawdown in the tank to continue to, trade aggressive size. You take a few losing trades, you go on a string of losing trades and the account's gone, right? 3 losing trades and it's out. But again, that's what I'm saying. It's all numbers. Like you never know if you're going to take the $2,000 payout, be left with a $1,000 balance, and then hit 3 trades in a row of 300 loss to take you out of that account, or you're going to hit 3 winning trades in a row that's going to grow the account balance and give you that cushion, right? It's all probabilities. It's all randomized. We never know. That's like the beauty of it. Like people are so scared about it, so scared about not knowing when they're going to win and when they're going to lose. I think that's the beauty of it, because we don't even need to really care about this one particular trade or how we finished red or green today, right? Because what it really comes down to is, what do the numbers say after 30 days? What do the numbers say after 100 trades? And if you start blocking things out like that, where you're blocking out a series of 100 trades, a series, a block of 30 days, then it doesn't matter what's happening in between. Because at the end, the outcome, based on a 70% win rate, again, this win rate would be lower, guys, if I was looking for 15 points, if I was looking for 20 points, if I was looking for 30 points. Now, the NASDAQ can definitely give you that. But again, it's a lot harder to consecutively get 30-point winners than it is to get 5 to 10-point winners. I think everyone can agree on that, right? Because sometimes that kind of flips people's lids back, right? And like this peels people's wigs all the way back when people hear like, well, how does someone have a 70 or 80% win rate? Because we're looking for tiny pieces, or we're scalpers. I'm just looking for a tiny piece of a bigger move. There's traders who are very profitable. I know traders that are extremely profitable, and their win rate percentage is like 25, 30%. They're going to lose 7, 8 trades out of 10. But guess what? Those 2 trades that win, 50-point winners, 100-point winners. I mean, they're looking for big R's, right? That's just not me. So again, if that's you, you would have to build your model around your metrics. I'm building it around my metrics. Everything I do is how I operate things, right? I'm not trying to sit here and fit into someone else's world. Well, this other person uses a strategy that wins at 40%, but their winning trades are 3,000 and yours are only 200. I don't give a shit. That's great for them and good for them. That's what they're comfortable with. This is what I'm comfortable with, and this is what I know that works for me. I've been trading this way for years. It's the same way when I trade options. Sometimes I will take a NVIDIA or a Tesla trade. I'll be in 10 options contracts, and I'll sell for profits when the price of the stock moves up $1 from my entry. I'm out. I'm gone. It's a $500, $600, $700 trade on 10 options contracts. I am out. Meanwhile, you have traders that are catching the $4, $5 moves on Tesla, holding it in tomorrow. Maybe they get $6 or $7 out of it. And yeah, maybe that my $600, $700 trade turns into a $2,000 or $3,000 trade. That's great. That's not the way I operate. I'm like a sharpshooter, right? I'm like a sniper. I'm coming in. I'm looking for that one move. Boom, take my shot. Either I hit or I miss. I'm not gonna do it again. I just hit at a much higher win rate. Now, again, I'm not perfect. Just like you, I'm human. So guess what happens sometimes, right? I want someone, let's guess what happens to me sometimes. What can happen because I'm human, right? I come into the market, I take the first trade, it's a lose. Okay. Oh, here's my next setup. Let me take that second trade. Guess what happens? It loses. Then from there, guess what could happen to me? Regardless of if my strategy wins at 70%, 80% over 100 trades. Regardless, what can happen to me in that very moment, in that very instance? Now we're finally getting a push up. So it looks like it did sweep that last sweep here, I would be open to taking a long position if we get back over the 20 SMA. Only reason why I'll be interested in that is because it'll be the first time that this price action has closed over the 20 SMA all morning. So maybe we get something going. Since nobody answered, I'll tell you what happens. Because I'm human, I can take 2 losing trades in a row. And even though in the back of my head, let's push here, even though in the back of my head, I know that I'm still going to be profitable after a series of 100 trades, I can't accept it. I put on a little bit bigger size. I shoot from the hip, and I take a setup that just based on emotions or momentum, and then it blows everything out, right? Now, again, that doesn't happen a lot. It does happen, right? Like, I'd be an idiot to sit here and say, hey, guys, I've had funded accounts for years. No, I do blow them. I do blow evaluations, but I treat it more so as a risk in and reward out type of system. If it costs me $30 plus, let's say, $100 to activate one of these accounts, and I can get it to at least one payout, just one, that's a $2,000 payout on a $150 investment or $200 investment with Top Step. I'm looking at a 10x return, 8x return. That's a hell of return on your investment. That's it. Whether that's the only time I ever get a payout from that one account, that's great. I'll do it all again. I'll make another $150 investment for a $2,000 payout. That's how I operate. And that works really well when you work at scale, right? When you work at scale, because when you work at scale and you have multiple accounts that are taking multiple $2,000 payouts, is really good. And I especially like when people just focus on trying to get all 10 accounts or 5 accounts or whatever amount of accounts that they have all at once and taking that one big payout. I almost feel a lot better when I take like 3 this pay period and take one from Top Step the following week when I know I don't got nothing going on with Apex, and then I take another 2. Like I always feel like the money's just rolling in at that point. It's just like rolling. Instead of waiting for that one big check, I just like fucking money rolling in. Like just keep it rolling. 2,000 here, 4,000, 2,000. Getting the break over the 20 SMA here. Let's see if we can get this hold here. Again, like I said, I don't like taking any trades the first 30 minutes of lunch. Well, guess what? We're at 30 minutes exactly here. So if this can get a closure over the 20 SMA, I'll be interested. Now, here's where people will get all types of screwed up. Here's where they'll get all types of screwed up. Because I'm already up 340 today. If I take a losing trade, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to be back at break even and down a little bit. Okay? So that is when people won't be able to handle it. And then they start like, oh, shit, I just gave away $350, and they start doing all kinds of stupid stuff, and they could take a flat day, essentially, into just a big blow-up. Just a big blow-up. But you have to understand, it's not about what happened after these 3 trades or 4 trades today. It's about what's going to happen after 100 trades, after 30 days of trading. We get about 4, 5, 6 setups a day. Okay. So if you just do the math, you should be taking anywhere between 25 and 35 trades a week. 20 and 30 trades a week, somewhere around there. 25, 35, I don't know. It's around there at 4, 5, 6 setups a day. Again, some days are better than the other. Like today, we've only really had 3 setups. There hasn't been that many. This would be the 4th. Actually, this would be the 3rd, because if you just include 20 plays, 2, and then 30-minute opening range, first initial break, and then the confirmation of the 30-minute opening range, that's 3. So this is technically 4 trades. So even 4 trades times 5 is 20 trades. You should be at least a trade count of 20 to 30 trades a week, right? 20 to 30 trades a week. And that's putting you at around 100 trades a month. Makes sense? So that's why I'm reverse engineering those numbers backwards that way, and now forward testing. Because if it plays out to where this account passes the evaluation on this type of risk management setting, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to scale this times 10. Reached your first payout threshold since watching your channel. Thanks. Hey man, that's all you. That's all you. You're the one clicking the buttons over there. I got nothing to do with that. Great job. Great job. I will say this though, because I've noticed this a lot, it's even in my room, my Discord. There's a lot of people that are passing evaluations on a daily, and they're like inching closer to their payouts. And some of these people are first payouts ever. Been trading with prop for a year, never taken a payout, struggling even passing evals, and they're just passing. And it's like the day finished, and guess what? I got the email that I passed. I didn't even look at my balance. I didn't even know I was that close to passing my evaluation. I got the email that I passed. You know, or hey, you know, I didn't think I was going to even get a payout this month, and next thing you know, I'm looking at my screen. I'm at my threshold. I can request a payout. Because when you slow things down and you don't focus on the outcome of this one trade or how we finish today, and you just keep trading, and you keep trading, and you have protection in place, you're great. It's just going to happen. So once you do it once, now run it at scale. Really scale it. Slow everything down. Big oof on a 2-minute 20 SMA play today, minus 839. When the strategy isn't working, when would you stop? I always stop trading 838 and at the same time. Yeah, the 5-minute plays, the 5-minute, again, guys, you guys have seen videos where I'm showing 2-minute. And some days the 2-minute hits and some days it doesn't. But I have a question. Why do you guys like the 2-minute so much more than the 5? Why do you guys like the 1-minute so much more than the 5? Is it because you feel like you're going to take more trades? Like, don't feel that way. Again, the only problem with the 2-minute is on days where it's a little choppier, you're going to get stopped out more. Because why? It's just going back and forth and back and forth. And the 5-minute's going to give you that time, that lag, right? It's going to give you that lag where, like, see, this setup is even probably a little too big for my liking, because if it pulls back, I could see a 20, 30 point pullback and then go. So it might stop me out. Let's see how it does. Let's see if this trade wants to go. But again, Jim, I like the 5-minute. Again, that's not saying I don't use a 2-minute. There's a lot of people in my room that use a 2-minute. How much are you risking, Jim? How much are you risking per trade? Because $839, I hope that's not on one trade. That's way too much to risk on one potential trade. Way too much. So how many trades was that? That resulted in the $839 loss? And what is your position size per trade? Because I can tell you right now that that's way too much to risk on one trade. What time is it? We got 3 minutes. I go back. Are we gonna hold this 20? How did I do today? I did great. I did great. 2 trades. So this morning I took the first 20 SMA on a 5-minute time frame short for around 8.5 points. I think it was $175 winner. I did that across 3 funded accounts. So technically, I'm up 175 times 3. Again, do the math. It's like $500. It sounds better when I say I'm up $500 in funded accounts versus 175. And then we passed one Top Step XFA, same setups, but I just fucking increased the size times 5. And then on this Apex evaluation, we're up 340 or 324. But with what I'm risking right now, if my next trade is a loser, I'm going to be flat on this evaluation. So again, this would be where a trader would get stuck in a rock and a hard place. And this is what I would recommend. Because I'm testing something right now, I'm going to take the trade setup if I get it, okay? Because I'm testing. But if a trader, let's say, took 4 trades, again, I had a slip up. I had an order sitting out there that got filled. Technically, it was 4 trades that I took. I took the 5-minute 20 SMA short. I took the 30-minute opening range break down short, and then I took the new low after the 30-minute opening range. When that confirmed, I took that short. Okay, those all worked out. So this is at a point where if you were actively taking an evaluation, I would stop here 100%, especially on a Friday. 324, stop. If you're on a funded account, definitely. On a Friday, this is done. Right, this is done if it's a funded account. And again, I'm not trading the Apex PAs because payouts coming up right now. Our next window is on the 1st. Our next window is on the 1st, and these are over threshold. So, Apex and everyone's going to have me fucked up if they think I'm going to give away my money before I get it. No way. I'm probably done trading those accounts until I submit the payout. I got 3 accounts ready. Pre-market, shut it down about 7:30. Didn't see anything close today at 1,600 or 4 accounts. Beautiful. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Nice. Close up shop once you make some cash. Close up shop once you make some cash. Guys, that last candle did not close over the 20 SMA. No setup yet until I get a candle that closes over the 20 SMA. So far right now, it was a good push off the sweep lows. It was a great push into the 20 SMA for a nice bounce. But so far, no play. Again, I'm getting a 10-day moving average here curling up. I would technically like to see one setup, at least something from the bulls today. I would like to see something from the bulls today that says, hey, we're at least alive. We're at least alive. Hey, 2 trades. You still there? Yo, in the morning when I'm trading my Top Step XFAs, I will put on the, because I'll have the platform open, I'll put on the Top Step TV. You made a comment today. They shouted you out over there, right? So you tune into Top Step TV. Dude, did you see, what was it? I think it was this week. When they went down, like, what would they go down, like 48K? Did you see that shit? Bro, did you see that shit when they went down 48K? They were in profit 30 grand. They were in profit 30 grand, and they let it piss back and gave up a ton. And then I was looking at that chart because we were trading it in the Discord, and I was like, right where they went short again, we were at like a big level of demand, like a huge level. I forgot what it was at this point in time, but it was like a linear regression on a 1 hour or like a 200 or something on a 1 hour or something like that. I forgot. But I was telling the room, because we shorted that move. We shorted it. Again, we weren't looking for, I don't know, they were looking for some type of astronomical price target. But we took some cash, I remember specifically because I think we took between 5 and 10 points, and we were laughing at laughing about it because if we would have just held on for maybe 2 more minutes, we would have made 50 points, right? But again, that's not what we look for. We're just looking for those quick moves. So whatever, we're laughing about it. We come all the way down and we hit that big level of demand. And I'm literally listening to these guys in the background. They're like, we're starting a new short position here. We're starting a new short position here. And I'm like, at the same time, right before they said that, I said, guys, this is a perfect opportunity for a reversal bounce. And I shit you not, we bounced 100 points. Now, again, we could have continued to go down. We could have continued to chop. But it was at literally the same exact point where myself and the rest of the guys in my room were looking at that area of demand as a potential, maybe we can catch a little bounce. They talked about going short again in the hole. And I'm like, I don't get it. I didn't get that. I don't get that. It's wild because their price targets are crazy sometimes. It's like it's crazy. It's like I don't even know how much they're expecting to get off that specific move, It's nuts. Like sometimes they're up 10 handles, 15 handles, just 20 handles on big lot sizes, 10, 20, 30 lots. Just take your 3, 4, 5 grand. Take your 8 grand or whatever. Take your 2 grand. Take your 1,000 and keep stacking. I'm like, yo, they're looking for I forgot who said it, but someone said this could be a 6-figure trade to the downside, and almost a 6-figure trade to the negative side. And it's like 90% of the times I see the levels that they're trading, and they make sense. It's just the price targets are wacky. I'm not a big fan of the dollar cost averaging nonsense too. I've never been that. Dollar cost averaging, I get it. If you're investing, you're a long-term investor, I get it. But the dollar cost average on the scalps, it can save your ass. Don't get me wrong. If you have a good level, a good zone, right? And we're kind of in a zone, I get it. How you can get into a position and then get a little bit of a better price and then it comes back up. And I get that. I get it. I've done it before, but it's not like a routine. But it's with them, I always feel like it's a routine, where it's we're going to get in here, average here, average here, average here, but they're just averaging as things going against them a lot of the time. It's crazy. You think it's demo, dude? You think it's demo, guys? Did this close over? This did not close over. Oh, you did close over. That little baby candle did close over the 20 SMA. We're going to see here. I'd like to see the pullback happen now before it takes out the previous candle high. I'd like to see a little pullback now, but I feel the same way, Robert. I feel the same way. I feel like for every 1 or 2 times you dollar cost average in, and it's a good DCA and you make a shit ton of money, I feel like there's 10 other times where it just blows you out the water. It could be, man. Again, that joke has been kind of thrown around too, hey, they're taking these trades because what? Obviously they're in business to have people sign up and pass or whatever, but it's is it real? They say it's real cash. They say it's a live account. I get it, but I get that the account, if it is a real account, it's probably huge. I'm looking at it today. They're down 19 grand today. They haven't logged a $10, $20, $30,000 green day in a freaking long time. In a long time. So I'm just kind of tripping out. I'm like, what the hell's really going on here? Because at this point, you would have to imagine that a lot of the viewership that's watching is probably not tailing their trades anymore at this point when they're seeing that every trade that they're pretty much taking is a loser. I just don't get it. I don't get it. We're going to see how, I don't know. Again, different strokes for different folks. Now, again, if they do have a winning day or when they've had a winning day, don't get me wrong. They're going to put up $10, $20, $30,000. Then right, that's what I'm saying, Steam. Don't at this point, don't you think that the viewership, the amount of people that are watching, would just fade it? So if their whole idea is to trade a demo account and get people to tail them, and then blow accounts, that's going to cause in resets for more orders or buying new evaluations. At this point, I mean, you got to show, like, the thing is like, I would believe that, but you have to show that you're winning something, right? Like, you got to give some glimmer of hope. But I don't think they've really logged a decent green day where they're just shredding the markets in a long time. In a long time. So I don't even know if that would be working from a business perspective. Like, if that would be the case. They sell at support and buy at resistance. That's what it feels like a lot of times. That's what it feels like. And it's like a lot of trades sometimes are taken in the middle of a range, like, but towards the lower half. So it's like, again, like you said, they're buying at support, selling at resistance. So like a lot of trades, like, let's say we like this short, but you're like at the middle lower half of the bottom of the range. So like if the range is holding and you have support there, and it's at the lower bottom half of the range, why would you short there? You would be looking to go long, or you would wait for the breakdown of that range, set in a new low, back test, keep getting rejected, and then confirm it. See, like, I play a lot of breakouts and breakdowns, but like I'm waiting for the range to get broken and then taking the confirmation. Versus like they're just going short at the bottom of a range and then dollar cost averaging in. I don't know. Again, like, I don't know exactly, but like I see the levels. Like, the levels are legit. The levels are legit. Oh, I think it was it yesterday? Was it yesterday before? I mean, I like Rips. Rips knows his shit. Like, he's smooth talking dude. Like, he definitely knows his levels. He knows how to read, order flow and stuff like that. And, he shows sometimes he makes money, but the other day, because sometimes I'll go and I'll just kind of recap, what are some of these YouTube guys doing today, how they do. But I tuned in. I don't know if it was I rewatched the rerun of his thing yesterday or the day before, and he was just like loading up 5 top step accounts, and then he just blew them like back to back, 5 and 5, which is wild. Oh, I got triggered into this trade. I will note though, in my back testing, I went back 2 weeks. The first 20 SMA play, inside of lunch hour always fails, and it was the second one that worked. So those type of things I'll have to tighten up on. Those type of things I'll have to tighten up on the strat, and not the strategy, but on the risk management. Because again, like, my window is going to close here to take a trade within the next 30 to 45 minutes. So I probably only have enough time for maybe one more setup after this, because I never really take anything truly after lunch anyways. Again, going into this, we already know that if this trade loses, I'm back at break even on the day. I think that two trades. That was the first thing that I thought as well. Had to be. Because the way that they were getting loaded up so fast, because you still have to buy each account one by one, and it was just a couple clicks of a button, and then 5 were automatically loaded back up. So there could be something going on there on that. Again, you never really know, right? Like, you never really know. This trade's going to go. This trade's going to get smashed. You never really know. Maybe one day I make enough videos and do this streaming stuff enough to where I learn what's really going on behind those screens. Don't worry, I'll let everybody know what's really going on. Because again, like, this trading shit, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Like pulling down, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 days. That shit's not easy. Like, I don't give a shit how long you've been doing it. Like, it ain't easy. It's sometimes it's brought across the airwaves as it really is that easy. It's not. It's not. Like, not when you're trading 5, 10, 15 contracts. Put it this way, even when I trade evaluations and just try to pass them real quickly, I've thrown on a 10 lotter and I'm down $1,000 before as I just even got into the trade. You know, so it's not that easy. Slow, steady Eddie always seems to work best. It's always worked best for me. This trade's gonna get stopped down. Price action has been awful this week. I think we had like one day that was okay. It's been fairly choppy though, but you know this one. That's what it is. How much longer do we have before lunch? 7 minutes. But other than that, how did everyone do this week? Forget about the day. How did we do this week? Patrick and Alpine both turned down each deal with top steps. Yeah, see that's the thing. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to even say too much because I did hear something behind that, but I don't want to put it out there. Because I know Trades by Matt also turned him down as well to do a second year with him. Nice, Norman, nice. But it is something like that because when you are a Top Step trader, you're exclusive to Top Step, but you're on a contract, so you can't trade a lot of other prop firms. And what's going on behind the scenes as far as your evaluations, combines, and what you're streaming, you know, what you said two trades could be very true. But I also do know that when that contract is involved, that contract alone is paying for what you could potentially make trading. So it's almost beneficial to just have at it, have at it. I don't want to say dollar amounts because that's not my business to say what they offer, but I know that it's a nice amount. Blue two funded, which were $200 from payout revenge trading, got one. Well, nice. I mean, at least you got one to payout threshold. It never feels easy. It never feels great blowing funded accounts. But again, once you lock it in, like why we blew it, obviously, we know it's mental. We just have to tighten up those mentals. The end plus 658 this week. That's awesome. 600 times 4 is over $2,000. Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers because if you can do $2,400 on one account a month, now the whole goal is just getting up to 2 accounts. Make it 4,000. 3 accounts. Make it 6,000. Scale, 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 scale. How did anyone go to Alpine stream today? How did he do today? Armis. Damn it. Came out with a profit on his orb trade. Nice. Is he running the 15-minute orb right now or the 5? I know last week he had some problems with the 5. got a little bit of resistance up here at this previous wick, right around 66, 68. If we can get through that, right? If we can get through that 60, what is this? 68 and a half, market might fly a little. It looked like a 10. Yeah, I know he's been moving it. He's been moving it. That's good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when you catch that one or two good trades and you can just get out, it's better. It's better. Versus trying to sit there all day and look for a trade. This is like a little double wick top here on a 5-minute time frame. We're still getting rejected. Hourly chart's clear. You know, the only concerning thing is this hour candle's about to close here. We need to get a little bit of a push. Yeah, I love Top Step X platform actually. Yeah, no commissions either. So it's not what I would have liked to see. This trade's probably going to be a loser. You know, we had our opportunity to kind of bust through here. And within the next 2 minutes, or next minute and a half, I would need to see some type of serious momentum break through 68 and a half. Glad for him to get back on track. Yeah, he had a little bit of a tough stint there. Again, you know, all in all, is it a big deal in the grand scheme of things? Nah. You know, he's made a good salary this year trading, which is great. You know, anytime you can pull any type of money out of the market, especially over 6 figures, you know, you're having a hell of a year. It's just the thing is just getting back on track, you know. And again, we would all be liars if we said, you know, the last month, maybe even month and a half, price action's been hard to trade, right? It's been hard to trade. Ranges have been a little bit bigger. We've gotten into more choppier actions. It seems like, you know, Asia-London session is providing a lot of moves, and then by the time New York rolls around to open, we're just like figuring ourselves out for fucking 2 hours. So it's been tough, right? It's been tough. So sometimes that's what gets traders. You know, what's been working in the past it's not really working in this market condition. You know, but you gotta sit through it. You gotta hang with it. You know, you gotta hang with it, because when it starts to work again, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be great. Yeah, a lot of us did. You know, I've seen gains that were a little bit less this month than they have been in the past. Guys, I'm so close to getting tagged here for the 175. It's having so much trouble. 145, 135. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. There it is. Guys, we got it. I wanted to manually stop myself out there when it was like 140, but we got to let the numbers run. So there it is, and there's a play. Did anyone take that 20 SMA with me? It was a little bit of a shit show. You know, it was just like chopping around a little bit, but it finally went. So my trade window is going to be over here in around 30 minutes, okay? My trade window is going to be over in 30 minutes. So again, for those of you guys who just joined, I'm like, who didn't hear the whole spiel in the beginning, I'm gonna lay it out in 10 seconds or less. I started a new evaluation with Apex. I'm gonna run a 350 roundabout hard max pain risk per trade. Okay, I'm on a 100 trade kind of test. Okay, 100 trade test. Based on the back testing I did, the numbers, the random probabilities of outcomes that could potentially happen, my trade strategy hits at over 70%, closer to 80%, but I went with metrics at around 70%. Okay. I've got around, an 8.5 point take profit, and I've got closer to like a 16, 17 point, 18 point, right in that range stop loss. We're trading one mini contract. We're just looking to get through 100 trades. So when I did the random probabilities and outcomes, I'm going to do all the tracking. So that's why I started a fresh account. So with the platform TraderBait, it'll have all the data for me. I don't have to like manually start punching the numbers. It'll have the data for me. Guys, this was a nice push. It was a nice bounce off the floor. Again, what was my thought process on why like I was thinking about it? We kind of pushed down all morning. We kind of swept those lows. We got back into the linear regression channel. We chopped around for the first 30 minutes of lunch, and now this was the first close over the 20 SMA all day. So again, why is the 20 SMA significant? Because it can signify a short-term change in trend based on the time frame you're looking at. And the 20 SMA strategy is all about taking a scalp off of the start of a trend. So I'm never going to catch the whole trend. Like if this continues to ride at 50, 60 points, I'm never going to catch that. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to scalp the start of the trend. And again, bounce off of hourly support as well, right? I also had hourly support. That was a good tag that we came into that 100 EMA, 100 SMA, as well as an hourly linear regression. So there was a lot of support down there. And the market's been selling off. And now during lunch, it's kind of doing the opposite where it's chopping around. Maybe you get that little bit of a bounce coming out of lunch. So that's the setup out of lunch. I don't like trading anything in the first 30 minutes of lunch, but I like taking a setup towards the end of lunch and coming out of lunch where the move is reversing or continuing. I would have been just as equally mouth-watering, appetizing if we would have got below 20,209 to the short side. I would have loved that for a continuation to the downside. Looks like she wanted a 300 touch. Yeah, it did look like we wanted 300s touched. Again, we'll see, right? Because at 300, at 290, I got a 50 SMA, and I got the 200 SMA on the 5-minute time frame. This looks like it could stretch into that. We're kind of coming up to the previous swing high here. Look at this rejection spot that we had here going back about an hour and a half. We're right in this area. So if we burst through it, I can see 90. I can see 300s hit. At 70% win rate with that take profit and stop loss, wouldn't that be in a negative? No, it wouldn't. And that's why I ran the numbers. So I had to run the numbers and see. Basically, we're risking 2 to make 1, but we're winning 7 out of 10 trades. So it's not like a lot, right? It's netting anywhere between a 5 and 6% return on investment of a $50,000 size account. So what the numbers were coming out to, the highest balance, and I ran different numbers. Like I just kept auto changing the numbers, like, because again, I don't know when a 3-trade losing streak is going to happen, a 4-trade losing streak is going to happen, right? And then I go on a string of winners. I can lose 3 trades in a row, win 1, win 2, lose 2 more, win 1, win 2, win 3, win 4. Like again, so I randomize the outcomes because again, by randomizing the outcomes is like trading. I'm going to randomize the potential outcome here. So between my window of market open and this time, literally like 20 minutes, I back tested by hand 3 weeks worth of data. Now, again, I've been trading this way already for a long time, so I didn't really want to go too freaking far back. But I know that the last couple of weeks we've had some crazy choppy days. I wanted to see if I would even get hit. But anyways, at one point in time during the series, right, on different generators, balance got up to around 3,800 in the green, and then it closed 100 trades at like 27. So obviously at some point in time, it took a 3-trade losing streak, and then it gave back $1,000. But the thing is like I'm working this in a manner of prop firms. So what do I need from a prop firm? $3,000 in profit to pass an evaluation. Great. What do I need to get a payout? 2,600. Great. Or 5 days of 200, right? Great. So again, who said that? Jim. So Jim, I just ran the numbers at 70% because I'm giving the market a little bit more of a benefit of the doubt. It hits closer to 75, 77, 78%. It just depends on where we're hitting the market cycle. You know, it depends on what's going on. So I didn't want to be too overzealous and say, well, yeah, based on what I looked at for this last month, it's hitting at 82%. Like, look at my trades from today, guys. I took, again, it says 6, but it's 5 because I had a fucking order out there and didn't mean to get filled. But 83% today. If you go back and back test yesterday, it was like, again, 80 or 90%. I think only 1 trade lost yesterday at under a 10-point take profit between 5 and 8 points. Only 1 trade lost, and you would have won 5 trades. So again, it is closer to 75 to 80%, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. I'm just running the numbers on 70%. So if I can make, think about it. If I can make $2,500, maybe hit 3,000, maybe hit 3,500, but let's say $2,600 a month. Great. Let's run this motherfucker at scale. Meaning, let's get 10 accounts, let's get all 10 of them to $2,600. That's kind of the way I've been doing it already, but I'm doing it manually. So like I'm like manually taking a trade here on one account, manually taking a trade here on another account. And then like if I go up to $300, I just kind of stop myself out. I pull myself out of the market. But for this particular account for the testing, I'm going to do my best as long as I'm at the screens. Between market open and around lunchtime, I'm just going to take my hitters on that particular time. And again, like, hey, if it's break even after 100 trades, then I'll say that. Like, it's break even. Like, guys, it broke even. You know, if it busted out, then I'll say it busted out. But at no point in time was the drawdown going up enough, because you got to think about it. At over a 70% hit rate, your drawdown should never really start going down. Like, your equity curve is going to go up, and then it might go back to flat and stay flat, and then go back up, right? But it's not really, it shouldn't go down if you're winning 7 trades out of 10. And again, because it's all random, it's all probabilities, we don't know where we're going to hit those random losses, you know? Because think about this, Jim, think about this. I hope you're still listening, Jim. If you do, right, let's just do simple, stupid math, like, because I'm not that smart. But let's say I take 100 trades, okay? Let's say 70 of those trades are winners. Okay, so at $175 take profit, right? $175 take profit times 70 winners equals $12,250. Okay, that's a stupid math. $12,250. Okay, but let's say I have a loss of $360. Okay, and I'm going to lose, or $350, and I'm going to lose 20 or 30 trades. I'm going to lose 10,500, which is leaving me a balance of around 2,500. Which was right based on the math that I was doing, running this stupid auto generator based on the risk to reward. So what it's coming down to is $50,000 account. Every trade we're risking 0.7%, and our take profit is 0.5. Okay. After 100 trades, you should be profitable over $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, depending on when you're hitting those wins and loses. But the thing is, Jim and everyone else, is what gets traders off the rails is when you take those 2 losses in a row and you're down 600, you're down 700. You fucking lose your mind. And then you start doing stuff out of pocket. And then you put on too much size and you overtrade and you get revengeful. And then you take your losses down more. No, you got to stick to it. Just stick to the numbers, because after 100 trades, you should be profitable. And if we're profitable around 2,500, 2,600, 3,000, at the end of 100 trades, which should be at the end of around 30 days, because even like, just take these numbers. 5 trades today. Now again, I'm taking 20 SMAs, I'm taking 30-minute opening range breaks, and I'm taking continuation through low of day after the 30-minute opening range. So I'm going to have a little bit of, leeway there to kind of take an extra trade or two. So I took 5 trades today. If I took 5 trades a day, average. Again, some days it might be 2, some days it might be 6, some days it might be 7. Let's just say average. An average of 4 or 5 trades taken a day is anywhere between 20, 25, or 30 trades a week. 25, 50, 75, 100. You should be at around 100 trades. But here's the cool part, Jim. Here's the cool part. Because in the randomized like probabilities testing, like where I was running the numbers and just giving me different odds and probabilities of the strings and wins, strings of wins and losses, it was between 40 to 60 trades. We hit a high balance of around 3,000, 3,100. So you know what that means? That you could potentially pass an evaluation just trading that way within a matter of 2 weeks, or in a matter of 2.5 weeks. You could potentially in 10 days, nah, I don't know about 10 days. That's pushing it. But you can for sure hit a payout threshold with Top Step and Apex, and maybe actually be ready to hit a payout threshold. Let's say, for example, the first is coming. We hit the payout threshold on the first. We don't have anything submitted for the 15th, but towards the end of the month of October, we're already ready to go for that November payout threshold. You get it? So now we just need to run it at scale. Now we need to run it at scale. But again, the whole thing is based on we got to win 70%. So if we get off our rocker, and like let's say here, let's say for example, I'm looking at the P&L, looking at it, I'm like, okay, I'm up $496. Looks like it wants to bounce. Let me go long. Right? How many of us have done that? Let me go long. Right here, right now. Let's go long. Or let's go short. Right? 1 hour chart just hit resistance. Let's go back short. We're coming lower. So I go short here, and the fucking market goes long. Now I'm just screwing everything up. Screwing everything up. Stick to the strategy. Stick to the numbers. Respect the losses. If I do run into a day where it's just that, it's just that time of the month, right? We've all heard that before. It's that time of the month where I run into 3 consecutive losers in a day, back to back. I'll stop there. I won't take the 4th and the 5th trade instead, probably. I'll just stop at the $1,200 loss. Or whatever it is. And again, before anyone says it, I'm not worried about the fucking trailing drawdown with Apex. If that gets hit, fine. But if, I don't want to hear about that because I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, well, what about the trailing drawdown if you do take those losses? It goes down. That's not going to really change my numbers that much because guess what? I'll go to a prop firm that doesn't have that, aka Top Step, and I'll run it over there with those guys. But the thing is I kind of know that it already works because I've already kind of operate on the same system, just all freehand because I've been doing this shit for so long. Normally, anyways, when I do trade a mini contract, I have a mental stop loss between $3 and $4. I have a take profit of anything over $100 and $200. In very rare occasions where the market's screaming, I'll let the damn SOB go up 200, 250, 300, 400, and then I'll sell. Very rare. So I already kind of know that those take profits work. But we'll see. I think it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I get off on that kind of shit. My mind is always going where I'm trying to figure out new systems, and not new systems where I'm going to change my system, but things that I can add in conjunction. Because if I can still trade my normal funded accounts the way I do, and then I can just add another 5, 10 accounts that are just kind of running off of this. Think about this, Jim. Think about this. Imagine if I had 5 or 10 accounts. I wasn't even worried about taking 100 trades in 30 days. Just worry about it over the next 2 or 3 months. I don't think anyone in this chat would care less if they had 10 accounts that took 3 months to take $20,000 out of it. Right? Would you guys care? If it took you 3 months to take out $20,000? That's side income. So even if 100 trades took me 3 months, because I'm focusing on the accounts that I do have already and the options trading that I do already, I'm getting spread thin already. But if I could just take 2-3 months and get a payout on 10 accounts that are just running this risk management system, right? Think about it. Who's going to complain? What's the breakdown? We're talking about $6,500 a month, right? If we had 10 accounts, 20 G's, divide that by 3, we're talking about $6,500 a month. Ain't nobody complaining. But the only thing is if you do it like that, slowly like that, you better have some other income coming in. Don't bank on getting a paycheck once every 3 months. Because I think a lot of you guys already know, the prop firm trading for me is just supplemental income. I make money trading options. That's what I do. I'm an options trader. This is I'm in I'm like in Candyland over here, you know, figuring out little tricks. Like, okay, these I never even heard of a prop firm until 2021. Again, that might be way before you guys, or way after you guys. You know, if you guys are new to trading. But again, I mean, if you think about it, I've been trading since 2014. I never heard of. I've heard of prop firms, like a real prop firm where you take your own cash and you put up as capital, and then they like quadruple it, they 10x it, and you trade for a firm. I've heard of that, but it's all this funny stuff we got going on here. First time I was funded, 2021. I'm gonna actually go back and I'm gonna find it in my email somewhere. I'm gonna print out my very first Top Step certificate of funding. I'm gonna print that son of a bitch, laminate it, frame it. Hell yeah, Don, it's great money for most. It's great money for most. For pretty much, it's great money for 99.9999% of us who are doing this, especially when it's extra. Because again, think about it, guys. The majority of you guys, again, I don't know you guys personally. The majority of you guys, I'm assuming, work. I'm assuming, right? Or I'm assuming you're retired and you have some type of income coming in. Or I'm assuming you're self-employed where you can generate a service, a need, a sale of something to generate income each and every single month. I'm assuming you're a student and maybe you're getting a financial aid check every month. I'm assuming that 99.99% of you guys in here are drawing some other type of income on a monthly basis. If you're not, and you're just doing this trading thing with the last $1,000 you had and trying to take a payout, I'm going to be the first to tell you that I would not be your friend if I didn't tell you you got to get some other source of income coming in other than this stuff. Okay? Let's not rely on this to be our holy grail. Let's use this in conjunction with what we already have coming in. 20 SMA played to the downside. Do I want it? I want it. But it's outside my trade window, guys. It's outside my trade window. I'm not going to take it. Take it. I want it, though. Oh, trust me, I do. Because I'm looking at, if we confirm, we've got some room to come down a little bit. We can test that 200s. What did they say, 230s? Yeah, I see the 230s as well. Exactly. Now, 2 trades, I agree with that. That's realistic. Those are good numbers. A lot of traders, retail traders, need to understand, guys. If you're a trader, like you're just trading, That's all you do for income. If you can pull 100,000, if you can pull 6 figures out of the market, you're a really good trader. You're doing something really well. Be consistent enough on a quarter by quarter basis to pull 6 figures out of the market. You're doing something very, very, very well. And I think that the more years you're in business, obviously, the bigger your account size will grow to be, which is going to result in bigger position sizes. That's going to net you more money, right? Don't believe for a second that if you're a successful trader, if you're making $1 million a year or $250,000, $300,000 a year. Like, guys, I'll be real honest with you. After taxes last year, after expenses, after everything, I only did about 178. That's what I did, 178. That's with options. That's with trickling in some prop firm checks and 170. Which again, it may seem like a lot. I live in California. I got a mortgage. I got cars. I got insurance. I got a son. I like to do things, right? I love to enjoy myself. You can just use your imagination. Love to have fun. So, do I make a living? Survive? Of course. Am I sitting trading in the Caribbeans every weekend? Absolutely. That's tough. But you just stick to it. I have noticed, Slight percentage bumps every year. Slight percentage bumps. Again, I mean, I'm sure that number could have doubled last year if I would have taken more size on the same thing I'm doing. But again, you know, you got to be comfortable with taking more size. You got to be comfortable taking more size. And only you will know when you're more comfortable taking more size. I'm still not. I've been at the same position size on my options trades for about 2.5 years, 3 years. I haven't sized up in about 2.5 years. So that's why I'm saying, let me figure out this prop game, right? Let me figure this shit out. We don't take that 175 with 350. Yeah, 235. Hey, you were spot on. You're spot on. 235 was tagged. 235. I've got a Bollinger Band down here on the 1 hour chart, and I've got that prior wick. Where's that prior wick? That prior wick right here. That last float. So what I would be looking at is if we do lose at 235, 230, we could be looking at a 210 touch, potentially lower. If not, this is going to be a hell of a setup for one of those things that the market does. Maybe even go red to green into the close. Again, it's Friday. I would rather this be on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's Friday. It could be setting up a higher low to start actually breaking out. If the market, again, I'm not saying it's going to. If the market gets back over 300s, it's going to flop. Stop trading. My search makes intended. Oh yeah. I'm telling you guys right now. I don't know how many people I've talked to, and I'm like, yeah, well, what's the realistic goal? What's the expectation? Someone told me, if I can make $1,000 to $1,500 a day, I'll be okay. I'm like, sir, that would be doing around $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Okay, that's over $250,000 a year trading. How many years of experience do you have? Well, I've just been learning, and I've been really trying the last 12 months. How much money do you have? You got a $100,000 account, $200,000 account in cash? No. I just got funded. I have a $50,000 Apex account. Oh, so there's no way we're gonna make $20,000. Not gonna make $20,000 a month on one funded account. Just tell you that much. Because that would be, what is the percent, guys? A 50K account has $2,500 in drawdown. You made $25,000 a month. What's the return on that? What's the percentage return on that? That's crazy. I'd be patient to see if it touches the 20 SMA in 2 minutes. Yeah, let's see what the 2 minutes. I haven't looked at the 2 minute all day today. I haven't looked at the 2 minute all day. 2 minute looks nasty to the downside, huh? 2 minute looks nasty to the downside. If we lose this prior swing low, we got more potential. What do you see in 2 trades? Maybe under 235 to what? You got 220 maybe? What are we thinking? I don't really see it long until we get over 55s. Firm support down at 202, 202.08. Anything below 202.08, forget about it. It's the on the hourly. 202.08 to 202.02, that would be support. If we lose at any point in time, because I'm going to be getting off soon, if we lose 20,200, we're out. This market's done. It's going down to 20,000 150s, 160s. No bulls. Need a little bit of a push here in the fight. And that's the beauty of day trading too. We don't worry. We don't care if it's going up or down. Just give us a move. We don't care. We'll take whatever. Absolute savages, right? If you're a day trader, all you guys in here are absolute savages. Money hungry sons of a guns. Each and every single one of these. Not too often. Not too often. I trade a lot with my guys in Discord. We talk back and forth in there, and not too often. I'm not a streamer. Just a trader who sits here and has a camera. You're not going to be too heavily entertained by me. A lot of ranting more than entertainment, though. Those of you guys who've been in here before know. I pop on sometimes a couple times a week. Normally, guys are coming down. You're coming down. Yeah, normally a couple times a week. I mean, I've been picking it up more. I've been picking up the streaming stuff more. I'm watching the 2-minute chart, guys. That's what you guys are looking at. Looking at the 2-minute. I've been picking it up more. I mean, it's cool. Normally, I'll do all my options trading in the morning and try to like have some trades on some funded accounts in the morning. Like I stay focused and sharp. Like I'll be honest, like in the morning, I'm like a freaking animal. I'm just like, what's setting up here? What's setting up? Throw orders here. Throw orders there. Stop loss there. You know, just get the take profit. Get the take profit. Like watching a chat, and watching multiple screens, guys. We're getting the breakdowns of the 34s. Would be. So normally when I come on here, I'm trying to talk about strategy or talk about the day out, or and I'm trying to work on different things for evaluations. I look at it like this. This is what I do. So you guys know. When I'm trading these evaluations, it's not just because, oh, I'm trying to pass, I want to pass another evaluation. Guys, I'll just throw on 10 contracts, right? I'll buy 10 accounts, throw on 10 contracts, look for a 62 tick profit. What I'm doing is trying to work on things that I'm going to implement in my real money trading, in my real funded account trading. So adjusting stop losses, setting new price targets, actually working on trades in the window, and like I'm tinkering with things and seeing if I can get those to $2,500 to $3,000 in a month, or in a week, or in 2 weeks. And if it works, if it's working on the evaluation side of things, then I start rolling it out to the funded accounts. But you always got to test, right? And I'm not going to sit here and fuddy-duddy test something on a funded account that's not going to be any better than what I'm doing. Price action is going to be choppy, guys. But later on in the day we get on a Friday, I'd be a lot more cautious. Be patient too. Let these setups come to you. Let these setups come to you. Guys, there was that 2-minute. I don't know who was looking at the 2-minute. The 2-minute took 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes to confirm. That last short below 202.46 went down 10 points. Before that, we had a 2-minute 20 played long about an hour ago. That confirmed for 10 points, 20 points. I mean, it would netted. And even the short before that. Guys, if you guys take the guys who are playing the 2-minute, you guys catch these last 3 trades? Yes, is making new lows and Qs next. Yeah. Awesome. I mean, we haven't had a lot of buying power, right? So the buyers are very, very weak. There's not a lot of follow through. There's no real like immediate action to like, hey, we're going back up into the opening range. Not yet. It just looks like every pop needs to get kind of shorted, like let it roll into an area of supply and then kind of short it back down to the bottom of the range. That's kind of what it looks like. It's not really my style of trading, but again, you can make some really good money doing that. That's what it is. With that Being said, guys, I'm gonna log off here. I'm done on the day. We did 175 times 3 on the funded accounts. We passed in Top Step Combine, and then we got this. What the heck is it? We got this valuation that we started today to run this forward testing on. We got this at 496 today. So 5 total trades, 5 winning trades, 1 losing trade, 83.33% win rate. Again, the average winning trade is 175. The average losing trade is 360. Those are the metrics I explained to you guys. They should pretty much stay the same. Right? So risking 2 to make 1. It's breaking down to around 8 points and a quarter, or 8.5 points risk to like 17.5 points, 8.5 points reward is what I'm looking for, to around 16, 17, 18 points. I forget whatever the math is. Could be closer to 17.5 or 18 points. Stop loss, and that's it. Average winning trade time was 4 minutes. Average losing trade time was 1 minute. Love to see it. Either stop me out or pay me out, right? Longest winning trade time was 10 minutes. It is what it is. With that being said, you guys have a fantastic weekend, guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the way out. I kind of enjoy doing the live streams. It's cool to kind of kick back and hear from you guys and see how your guys' day is going. Also helps pass the time for me while I'm sitting here. If you guys need any Apex evaluations, do me a favor. Use my link down in the description box below. It definitely helps support the channel. I think Apex pays me about $1.50 every time someone uses it. So, hey, maybe I can, scrounge up a cup of coffee at the end of the week. If you guys would like to join my Discord community, one-on-one mentorship, blah, 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 you guys, I got to do the housekeeping. That link is also down in the description box below. It's a one-time fee. It's $300. It's not for everyone. But again, I used to have it free like years ago, like during the pandemic, 2020, my Discord used to be free. You know the problem that I was having? So many people were coming in with so many different ideas, just looking to make a quick buck, didn't want to learn. And then I was getting people cloning me and like asking people shit and trying to sell them crap. That's not what it is. My Discord is a trade team. It's a team. We all trade together. We kind of trade the same way. We kind of have the same ideas in hand. Realistic. We're not trying to shoot for the stars here, make $50,000 a day. And with that, you get one-on-one coaching where you can schedule a call with me and we can kind of go over and create some trade plans. We can do some back testing. We can do whatever work you guys want to work on. But again, yeah, it does cost, because why? Because I want serious people. That's why. And sometimes I have like 8 or 9 calls a week. And those are all 1-hour calls. So it does take up time. I can't just have 1,000 people. It's very small. Very, very small. If you've ever been a part of a Discord community before where you have hundreds of people talking bullshit all day long, saying this, saying that, giving these levels, giving those levels, it's not like that at all. Like it's a way different vibe. But anyways, yeah, whoever said we might be going lower today, I agree with you. I agree with you. Project, I don't know. Let's say Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Later on, Murray, Josh. Later on, buddy. 50K Apex account, the payout is 2,600. That's 2,600 for the payout. 2,600. I like to get it over 2,600, of course. Normally, I find that in the 10 to 15 days before I hit that window, it's about 3,000. But you only technically need to hit 2,600. So if you hit 2,600 and it's your first time ever hitting $2,600 on a funded account, request 2,000. Don't leave no buffer. Don't tell yourself I'm only going to take out 1,000 because I still want to trade the account. Forget it. You already passed one evaluation. You can pass another one. Take all your money. Take 2,000. Leave a $600 cushion. If it blows, it blows. But I would rather you blow it and take 2,000 than take 1,000 and blow it. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Evaluations cost $30. If you made 2,000, you technically 10x your money. So if you're all in for like $150, $200 with the valuation and activation fee, and you made 2,000, you 10x your money. So put a little bit more money back into evaluation and continue to trade. I'll see all of you guys next time. I'm all talked out. Yeah. I mean, Marie, I've done it so many times. Like the last account that I just recently blew last week, it only made it to 2 payouts. 2 payouts, and then RIP. Thing was gone. But again, 4,000 from a $200 investment, that's not bad. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys all later.